Hey, good evening, Arkansas Wrestling. It's another wrestling week, and I'm joined today. We got two events coming up this weekend, one on the open side and one premium all girls event. I'm joined today with Cameron Trudell from Pottsville and Coach Casper Petty from Fayetteville. How you doing, gentlemen?
How we doing?
I'm doing real well. How are you guys?
Doing good. Hey, let's talk about this Pottsville, the Christmas Bash. Chance to wrestle Santa. Some good open wrestling going on there. What do you got going on there, Coach Cam?
Well, I think last year was the first time we started it, tournament before Christmas, and Coach Mo put together a pretty good script. He brought in a Santa and an elf, and they had a little scrap in the middle of the tournament that was pretty well received. And I think this year we're also going to have Santa should be there again with an elf, and I want to say we're going to have some pictures. So I think we've done a pretty good job of making a nice tournament right before the holidays, where people can kind of come, and it's not just about wrestling, getting all ramped up about little kid wrestling, which is important, but there's things in life that are more important than little kid wrestling, and it brings a nice atmosphere to it and kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. So the kids realize that there's more to life than just wrestling. Win, lose, or draw, go out there, have a good time, and get ready for Christmas, because that's really important stuff. And wrestling is something we do. It's not exactly who we are. It's a component of what makes us unique. But the Christmas stuff is a pretty special season, and we're looking forward to it.
I love that. I love that concept. Wrestling is a family, right? And we see that all the way through youth. Coach Petty, you're a high school coach as well at Fayetteville, and I know for you it's important to build a family. You travel all over with your kids, so that's a great point, Coach Trudell, about that. And speaking of what we're doing outside of just the realm of the sport of wrestling, Coach Petty, you've got a premium all girls event going on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we opened that up about 5 years ago with the girls, and 4 years ago we made it an exclusive all girls event. This year we have 20 teams coming from 5 different states. They are some of the top teams in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas, and we look to have a really good turnout this year.
That's exciting. So the high school will wrestle first, and then our youth girls are gonna come in. I think the flyer says about two. Uh,
Correct. Yeah. So we'll open up with high school pool play on Friday. They'll wrestle out in bracket play on Saturday morning, and then at about we anticipate it being over about 1 o'clock, and we'll get the youth kicked off at 2 o'clock. We'll have rings for the championship winners, medals for second through fourth, and we will have some OW awards as well.
Nice. And if I see on the flyer as well, if they come in and if they pay for the first session to watch the high school girls, that covers them for the second session. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
So these girls can come watch high school, what they're trying to get to, watch the finals of your tournament, see some of the top wrestlers basically in the region, and then get to wrestle themselves. That's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
And speaking of awards, Cam, I got a sneak peek at those Christmas Bash awards from Coach Moats. Those are pretty sharp.
They are. I think he put a lot of time and effort into making it a unique award that kind of reflects the season that we're in. And yeah, I think from the awards that I've seen this year, they're right up there. I mean, and Arkansas has really gone above and beyond for making nice awards for these kids that go out and perform. It seems like each week the bar is raised a little bit, and I think we're right up there with our award. I'm pretty proud of what Coach Moats has done for that.
Does the Grinch make an appearance at all?
Are you talking the real Grinch or Coach Moats?
Okay, they're interchangeable, right? Moats or Grinch.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, no,
I know Coach Moats. He watches every one of these podcasts because he calls me after. So we might have to change him to the Grinch for this season if he can buy in for that.
well, I don't think there'd be too much arm twist in there. I think he enjoys that role. Underneath it all, he's about as soft as they come,
Yeah,
but he's got a pretty hard exterior.
I love the guy. Coach Petty, are there any belts involved? I remember in the past you had some belts.
Yeah, so for our high school division, we actually have a couple of extra awards. We do a team belt that's awarded at the end, and then we also do a fastest fall clock. And so the girl with the fastest fall at the end of the tournament gets a clock to take home as well. And then for the OW awards this year, we are sponsored with Yes Athletics, and they have sponsored each one of the uh, sections of those OW awards for each division, and they'll be giving those out as well for outstanding wrestlers.
That's awesome. So Arkansas has its award game on point. We got the Battle of the Bling going on in Fayetteville. We got Christmas Bash down in Pottsville. It's going to be an exciting weekend of wrestling. Hey, one thing that I know there's a lot of outside of the state, even people looking at the matrix. We have done well with USA Wrestling. Allows us to have a matrix. The one of the things I want to talk about is that sometimes, in Arkansas, and talking with Coach Trudell and how his clubs do it, allowing different weigh-in times and then registering. Usually, I like to say at the last minute, but they register by the time our schedules are set. So one of the things we want to encourage, just because you look at the matrix and you don't see anybody there, doesn't mean it's not going to fill up. So it's always important to go ahead and take that leap, or maybe you're the first one that signs up in the matrix that gets the other 15 kids or girls or boys to sign up. So I always want to encourage that. The matrix is there as a kind of a plus for our wrestlers, but don't let it deter you from coming to one of our great events. So far this year, I don't think we've had one event that's been less than 350 athletes, all the way up to 700 at Cabot. We pulled in 500 plus at Springdale. So we have the numbers. So I just want you to not be afraid when you look at the matrix, you don't see anybody. Hey, sign up, be the one that starts it. Especially for this girls event, Coach Petty. I want to say that for the youth girls, last year we had one girls event and we had the state tournament, and really we said, okay, this year we're going to push it. You've done a great job of being a leader of that, and we've added 9 girls events plus the state tournament. And I know Pottsville originally you guys were on board with the girls, but we weren't going to compete with what you had going there, Coach Petty. So our support of girls wrestling is growing tremendously. Now I challenge the parents out there, I challenge the coaches out there to step up and take advantage of that, right? So in order to make these events happen, sometimes you have to send one coach to Fayetteville, send one coach to Pottsville, right? We do that on the high school side sometimes. So I challenge you guys out there, your coaches that are helping us grow women's wrestling, come over to Fayetteville, send a group to Pottsville, right?
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen? Coach Petty?
Yeah, there was the good point on that matrix. I've had probably 10 parents reach out to me just in the last 2 or 3 days that said, "Hey, listen, I'm traveling from Iowa or Nebraska. I'm 4, 5, 6 hours away. I don't see anybody yet on the matrix. Is there anybody going to show up?" I encourage them every time. Hey, go ahead and just sign up. Be that first one to sign up. And if we see at the very end that we're not have a match for you, then we'll take care of your reimbursement, in that time.
Yep. Thank you. And our goal is, again, fill it up. You asked for it, we delivered it. We need you got to do your part and come out and see us. Coach Trudell?
No, I think you guys, the executive committee, doing a great job of promoting Arkansas wrestling. I think our level of competition across the state is really increasing each year. And I think it's great. I think we've done a pretty good job so far of encouraging the girls that want to wrestle to come out and have some competition against other girls. And obviously, it's a process to get there, but I think what they're doing for the girls tournament is fantastic. And as far as the matrix and that goes, I think most of the guys that are in Arkansas, we're pretty comfortable right now that that's the way it is. That we know that come Thursday night, we're probably going to see an influx of 200 additional wrestlers that sign up, which we're used to it. So I don't think anybody that's in our local circuit gets too gun shy. But for the guys that are coming out of state, it's pretty easy to contact one of the coaches and kind of get the historical indexes of what's happened in our tournament or a tournament. And I think we're pretty honest about our level of competition and kind of what the expectation is. So, but it's good. It's a good tool to use, and kind of give some light on who's going to be at the tournament and get some good competition for your guys and gals.
That's awesome. And I just want to share real quick before we wrap up, looking at both the boys and the girls. So having the open competition down there in Pottsville and the girls only in Fayetteville, the pin ratings, they were just updated last week. And it's awesome to look at the pin ratings and see that we have. So if you just were to look at the composite scores of the females and not break it out by age, it's pretty awesome to see our top tier girls. There's 3 that are in high school, right? Elena Williams, Skylar Lewis, who's a Fargo placer and training at Olympic Training Center, and Presley Gibbons, who was now wrestling in college. And then right below that is youth girls, right? Emmeline Smith from Mountain Home Flyers, Winnie Marguerite's daughter, Winnie Perry's number 5 in the state. And then we look at the boys and we see a lot of our hammers out there. And so it's very important that we keep driving these pin ratings, showing up to these tournaments, because it sets us up on the national stage, right? So right now, if you look at Oklahoma, even some of our Coach Petty, there's a couple of your girls there that are showing up on the pin ratings that are just as about the same or equal to what's in Oklahoma, right? So we're really on par on the girls' side, and we're making some gains on the boys' side. So I encourage everybody, all these USA events that we have in the state of Arkansas are really building your resume to take it to the next level, national teams and stuff like that. So very impressed with our pin ratings. I encourage everyone to go look at those. You can compare to Oklahoma, Missouri, and we're right there, right? There's some studs over there. There's some studs on the boys and girls side, but for the most part, we're competing. So I'm pretty proud of that. Well, we're going to go ahead and say let's get to wrestling this week. Again, Coach Trudell, you have Pottsville with the open Christmas bash. Coach Petty out there in Fayetteville will have the battle for the Bling, some awesome awards at both events. Gentlemen, I thank you for your time. We're ready to wrestle.
Look forward to seeing you guys.
All right. Thanks. Merry Christmas, guys. We don't talk before then.